The maid asked her boss, the wife, for a raise, and the wife was upset. The wife asked, why do you think you deserve a pay increase? Maid, there are 3 reasons. The first is that I iron better than you. Wife, who said that? Maid, your husband. Wife, oh. Maid, the second reason is that I am a better cook than you. Wife, who said that? Maid, your husband. Wife, oh. Maid, the third reason is that I am better at sex than you. Wife, did my husband say that as well? Maid, no, the gardener did. Wife, so how much do you want?
Damn. I saw her asking for a raise few months ago. You'd think the wife would learn from her mistakes.
Inflation affects everything.
The price of vegetables are too damn high. Those darn gardeners.
That's the thing with blackmail. It's never just a one-off payment.
That's why we don't negotiate with terrorists.
So why will iron, cook, make garden work and fuck a boss in this case?
The meat flaps do the thinking there.
Which ones? The ones inside the skull, or the ones attached to the reproductive organs? You need to be specific. The entire human body is one giant meat flap.
The entire human body is one giant meat flap. Correction, the entire human body is one giant meat donut, and it's run by a few pounds of soggy bacon using less electricity than a 40 watts light bulb.
The title should be: The maid asked her boss, the wife, for a raise and the wife was upset.
Yeah, I thought it meant the maid wanted to give a wife in exchange for a raise.
Yes, there probably should have been a comma after wife.
Yeah, but then no comma after that comma. I thought I was dying when I reread the title for the 3rd time and it didn't make sense.
No, the comma after raise should be there too. The end is connecting 2 independent clauses, so it should be preceded by a comma.
Ugh, you're right.
I just learned something new today. Thanks. I thought it was always necessary to have a comma between 2 independent clauses, but having just read up on it, apparently there are some cases where it's optional, and even unwanted.
How can you tell the difference between an Indian and African elephant? One of them is an elephant.
Remember that little toddler who told his mom, "Look, a frickin' elephant." What did you say? Points at an African elephant. A frickin' elephant.
Hooked on phonics, isn't it great?
Had a teacher whose immigrant wife did this. She would refer to black people as African Americans. This was back when that African American was the PC term.
It's not now? Nope. Now black is the correct term because not all black people are from Africa.
That's the first thing that came to mind when African American became PC. I was like, what about Aborigines? What about South Indians? What about Black Latinos? Black Europeans? What if they're African immigrants, but not black?
Yeah, me too, but I was ignored and told to use it anyway. I was in elementary and didn't care enough about it. Black was just offensive for a while for some reason.
Considering the rise of both hooked on phonics and rap music, that seems like a reasonable description.
Had a teacher whose immigrant wife did this. She would refer to black people as African Americans. This was back when that African American was the PC term.
I kinda liked it. Hadn't seen it 1,000 times either.
Some people say elephants love alcohol because they love the taste. But I think it's because they drink to forget.
R/the real joke.
Some people think that elephants can squirt water out of their trunks, but it's not.
That took me way longer than I'd like to admit.
I didn't get it, frown.
It is not.
Ah. Thanks, lol.
A Chinese drunk and a Jewish drunk are sitting together on a park bench. After finishing his drink, the Jew takes his bottle and smashes it over the head of the Chinese drunk. "What the hell was that for?" asked the Chinese man, rubbing his head. "That was for Pearl Harbor," replies the Jewish drunk. "Pearl Harbor? That was the Japanese. I'm Chinese," he exclaims in return. Chinese, Japanese, Korean. "You're all the same to me," the Jewish man explains as he gets up to leave. The next day, The two drunks are back on the same park bench. The Chinese drunk suddenly takes his bottle, and smashes it over the head of the Jew. "Why the hell did you do that?" the Jewish man stammers. "That was for the Titanic," explains the Chinese drunk. "The Titanic? What are you talking about? No one attacked it, it sunk when it hit an iceberg." The Jew replies. Iceberg, Goldberg, Greenberg. "You're all the same to me," the Chinese drunk happily retorts.
A Chinese drunk and a Russian drunk are drinking. On day 1, they drank non-stop without saying a word until they all passed out. On day 2, they drank non-stop without saying a word until they all passed out. On day 3, before the Chinese man poured their first drink, the Russian man interrupted him. "Hey man, you want to drink us to death?" The Chinese man replied, "I thought you wanted to drink us to death." The Russian man is confused. "Then why do you keep pouring drinks? In Russia, if the glass is not empty, you must empty it." The Chinese man bursted, and said, "Well, in China, the glass can't be empty. If it's empty, you must pour another drink." Okay, it's a decent joke. But I swear people are intentionally going out of their way to tell jokes poorly in this sub. The Chinese drunk happily retorts is completely unnecessary and softens the punchline. The ethnic Han alcoholic amusingly reposts.
The inebriated Oriental individual exuberantly answers.
A human being, born in the country known as China, who happens to be under the influence of alcohol, becomes elated and responds.
I read duck instead of drunk, bit disappointed now.
A guy asked a girl in a university library, "Do you mind if I sit beside you?" The girl replied with a loud voice, "No, I don't want to spend the night with you." All the students in the library started staring at the guy. He was truly embarrassed. After a couple of minutes, the girl walked quietly to the guy's table and said, "I study psychology, and I know what a man is thinking. I guess you felt embarrassed, right?" The guy then responded with a loud voice, $500 for one night? That's way too much. All the people in the library looked at the girl in shock. The guy stood and whispered in her ear, "I study law, and I know how to screw people."
Kinda hard to watch porn with everyone yelling, sheesh.
Apologies, your fappiness. As you were, bows out of the post in internet. People, we're all just looking for a little fappiness.
Then another guy runs over and yells, "Everyone, stop what you're doing immediately. You have important updates to install." And leans over to the two of them and whispers, "I study computer science, I know how to make everyone lose their mind."
Nah, that way you'll just get everyone ignore you for next week or so, but after that every problem in their life is your fault. Yes, even cancer their great-grandparents had 70 years ago.
Should have set a lower price. It would have made him look cheap, but she would have kept getting offers for weeks.
That would have screwed her more.
I am on Reddit pretty often, like every other Redditor, and I have never seen it. Honestly, unless it was obstered that day, or 24 hours ago, who cares? A lot of funny and good content I see are alleged reposts when I read the comments, but am appreciative that I got to see.
I've seen it before, but almost all humor is a repost anyway.
Good jokes are worth being retold so more people can hear them. The repost mafia just needs to get over it or spend less time on Reddit.
Mum says it's my turn to post this, next.
And then a monkey pokes his head out of a bookshelf, taps a man on the shoulder and says, "Hello, we have been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty." I went to Walmart today, and I was there for literally 5 minutes. When I came out there was a state trooper writing a parking ticket for being in a handicapped spot. So I went up to him and said, "Come on, buddy, how about giving a guy a break?" He ignored me and continued writing the ticket. So I called him a pencil-necked cop. He glared at me and started writing another ticket for worn tires. So I then asked him if his psychiatrist makes him lie face down on the couch cause he's so ugly. He finished the second ticket and put it on the windshield with the first. Then he started writing a third ticket. This went on until he had placed 5 tickets on the windshield. The more I insulted him, the more tickets he wrote. I didn't care. My car was parked around the corner.
I've seen it before, but I like it and have this random free gift that you can have. This translates to all countries. Well done. I'm gonna steal this joke.
GG random stranger, GG.
Okay, this genuinely tickled me. Goes to show what a turgid day I've had. But no, this joke was fine.